Hi everyone! Today is a day for some celebrating. First of all, thank you so much for getting me to 200 subscribers, over 200 actually. I was going to do this video when it hit 200 and then all of a sudden it was like more than 200 and I'm like, oh my God, I need to catch up with you guys. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. Maybe for some people 200 is not that big of a deal, but for me it is, because I started this channel wanting to just practice doing this and I didn't know if I wanted anyone else to hear it. And then I had some people that, first of all, for those of you who are right there right from the start, I remember exactly who you are. I have not forgotten about you, and thank you so much for being there right from the beginning. Those of you who joined in between and have just joined, every one of you means so much to me, because your participation, your views, your questions, whatever it is, even like suggestions or criticisms or whatever, has really helped me learn and has helped me want to keep this going. And I'm going to keep going for sure. So thank you so much for that. Secondly, I got news from my previous hairdressers. I bet you that's not what you thought I was going to say, because that's not the most important thing in life. But since I'm on this gray hair journey, and I've been sharing a lot about that with you guys, it has been confirmed that from September 27th, 2024 was the last time I got my hair roots colored. So October, November, December, January, February, March, that's 6 months. Yes, I do still count on my hands. Don't tell my students when I used to teach them math, but I secretly was still counting on my hands. But yes, it's been 6 months, and you can see how much gray. I feel like the lighting in here today really shows this gray, and then you can see the color gray on the side. I feel like this side has had less of the gray and white, and then the under layers, it's more on this side, I think. Yeah. So this has been 6 months of gray white hair growth, and I'm so excited for the next 6 months. But I'm really considering cutting my hair again. I know I just got it cut, but I'm thinking I might go chin length. One of my friends, I know I just did a video, but I don't believe in, I find it hard to call people my best friend, but in high school, my best friend, or who I consider my best friend, I run into her randomly, which I know it's not actually that random, but yeah, and she has always had super short hair, and she pulls it off so well. Like, it's not even chin length, it's like almost like a boy cut, and it looks amazing on her. And I saw her again today or yesterday and today, and I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I could do it. I don't know. I don't know. This might be the time for me to try, since I'm trying to just get all the hair to be gray, or like let it grow out gray. We'll see. Yeah, so it's been 6 months, and I was looking yesterday. I shampooed my hair with purple shampoo, and then my regular shampoo. I was telling you guys that I mixed the two together because that was a suggestion from another YouTuber, and I like the idea because I don't think I really need the purple shampoo, but I bought it. I'm using it anyway, and I do this on the 8th of every month. I only use it once a month. The reason is that I've shared with you before that the purple shampoo can dry your hair, but I was actually very aware today. I didn't do this on purpose, but I was pretty proud of myself that I realized that the purple shampoo says 0% parabens. the regular shampoo says 0% parabens. I was like, ooh, I'm on a roll here. I didn't even know. And the purple shampoo says, used by professionals. Like it's a professional stylist thing. But it's probably a good sales pitch, because when I looked up parabens so I could fully understand what that meant, it did say that parabens, prolong the shelf life of products, but then that doesn't necessarily mean that it helps our health life, because it can be quite strong and cause sensitivity or health risks to us to have parabens on our skin and go into our body or through our scalp. But I was looking at, then, of course, an article came up about all the other things that shouldn't be in shampoos. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what most of this stuff means. I tried to compare it to the ingredients that are on these shampoos that I just showed you. And I was really saddened to see that there are at least 3 of the ingredients that shouldn't be in shampoos but readily are in the shampoo that I've been using, that I've had so much fun with because of the lathering and the softness that it makes me feel. And then some of them are in the purple shampoo, even though this says it's used by professionals. I don't know if I can fully find something that doesn't have any of these, and part of the reason that this one lathers is because of those ingredients. Yeah, it was saddening, but then of course, the eternal optimist in me was like, we cannot focus on the negative. We need to find out what are the healthy things that I need to look for in shampoos or to supplement for the things that are not doing so well in the products that I'm using. So oils came up. I've heard so much about the benefits of castor oil, of coconut oil. Some people use coconut oil as a styling tool rather than using gels and hairsprays and that kind of thing. And rosemary oil is supposed to be really good for the blood flow to the scalp. And yeah, castor oil, rosemary oil, coconut oil. And I did hear something about lavender oil. These oils need to be used in a specific way, because you can overuse them and then make your hair too oily. But because purple shampoos and heat to the hair can dry the hair, the oils can be really good in bringing back the oil that we should naturally have in our scalp anyway, the natural oils. But we've been kind of holding them down or not letting them absorb into our hair because of the products or the dyes and things that we've been using. So I will link an article below that explains a little bit about those oils and how to use them correctly. The other thing is that I remember hearing a story about, so I mentioned that the blood flow to the scalp is really important. I remember hearing a story about someone who was in the hospital for a very critical condition, like it was a life and death situation, and he needed a blood transfusion. His hair was gray and white, and I think it was not very thick. When he had the blood transfusion, his hair became like, some of the color started coming back in his hair, his natural color, not the white gray, but what he had before, because blood flow is so important to our scalp and to the health of our hair. I don't have the original story, so I don't know all the details and how how likely this is to happen normally, but I think it really alerted me to like what I already believe, which is that health from the inside really affects the way our hair health appears, like whether it's thick hair, whether it's hair falling out, whether it's brittle hair, whether it's really shiny, um, soft hair, manageable hair. It comes from what's inside of us. And I felt so silly when I recently found some old documents that I had from years ago where an amazing naturopath that I had did some hair analysis tests for me. I don't even remember how she did them because I don't remember her taking my hair. I don't know. I don't know how it was done, but in reading this, and now that I'm so focused on hair health, I was realizing like that the elements in our hair, like it even says in the beginning of the analysis report that sometimes doing hair analysis tests can show us more what is going on in our bodies as far as the elements, like whether we're in excess of elements or deficient in elements, more than a urine test or a blood test. So the hair speaks a lot about what is happening in our bodies. And I just thought this is so important to know. And I'm sure that there are people out there in my life who have told me about, not having perfumes like on my skin or even through hair products or soaps or whatever. And they're very knowledgeable in these things, or not the article that talks about things that shouldn't be in your shampoos talks about sulfates and color agents, like this is blue, it shouldn't be. That is probably not healthy for me. But you have to be ready for information. Like, I don't like it when someone tells me I can't do this. I want to discover it for myself, or discover one thing at a time. And some of you might prefer to just learn something and then be like, okay, I'm getting rid of all the old stuff and I'm doing it new and perfectly now. I am not usually like that, especially when it comes to something like this. I like learning about it, and then I like implementing one thing at a time so that I can make small changes gradually. I think it's big enough that I'm growing out. I never thought that I would do this, like just naturally grow out my gray hairs. And I'm going to be proud that I made that step because that's a really big one. And yes, I will probably eventually figure out what is a better shampoo for me. But right now, the awareness, I think, is a big piece of progress for me. For some of you out there, you might already know all this stuff, and please feel free to share what you know, because I'm still learning and I would love to learn from you guys as well. But yeah, I will need to maybe make some changes in the near future on that, but I'm learning one thing at a time. So our hair health, the way our hair shows up tells us a lot about ourselves, even if you have no hair. I believe that it's still like coming, it is still coming from our scalp and from our bodies and from our health. Even without having the hair there, there's something very important about taking care of your scalp and, the blood flow to that area of your body. Like it's all, I find it really fascinating. I feel like I use that word a lot, but it is fascinating to me. The other thing is, a YouTuber was talking about how she gets a lot of criticism still about growing out her gray hairs. People tell her, the usual, like, you look so much older and you should color your hair again. And I guess lately people have been telling her that she's going to have to change her wardrobe because her skin is going to look different against her lighter hair, her gray hair, and her skin is not going to look as good. But actually, she realized that our skin actually changes over time, like the tone of it. And she thinks the opposite of what the critics were saying to her. She thinks that in lightening her hair, her skin actually looks brighter, because when she was coloring her hair unnaturally, like she was using dyes on her hair, it was contrasting against the changes that her skin was going through as she was aging. And not in a negative way. Like her skin was just changing, just like her hair was changing color to going to gray. Her skin was changing the tone. It was lighter. It was wanting to express in a different way. And it was like she was shutting off that expression by coloring her hair in the old way, and her skin was wanting to show up in the new way, and they were two different things. And she said now that she's letting her hair become the new hair, just her natural hair, allowing it to be. Her skin, it's like, I'm interpreting it as she's saying like her skin is thanking her because now they get to show up and progress together. And she says she loves her skin and her hair even more now than before when she was dyeing it, when she was dyeing her hair. So that is making me look at my face and my skin more differently now, because I'm like, oh, I wonder if I were to start dyeing my hair now, or I look at pictures of myself before and I like the way that I looked with that darker hair, but I think my skin was different then. And yeah, this woman was saying she's actually enjoying changing her wardrobe colors and looking at her makeup and how it matches the new skin and the new hair. And she doesn't find it a drawback. She actually really likes it. And I'm noticing it in other people. I'm noticing not just the way someone's hair looks, but how their skin looks with their hair. And it alerts me to whether their hair has been dyed or whether it's actually naturally, that color. So yeah, I think it's something really interesting to think about. I will be sharing more about this gray hair journey with you. I, once again, really appreciate being here for the 200 subscriber celebration. I'm going to keep going with this because of all of you. And thank you so much for commenting, subscribing, listening, and contributing your thoughts. I really appreciate it. Talk to you very soon.